Ready, I'll call the meeting to order and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Ooh, she barely made it.
First up is meeting minute review from last month. Any questions, comments, changes? I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Hope, anything from you? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we have public comment. We have another one at the end, but we'll start. Is Zoom all set, Peg? Everyone invited that's waiting in the lobby? We'll start on Zoom, and just if anyone on Zoom has anything to say, chime in. All right. If you're talking, you're muted. Going once, going twice. Okay. We'll do in the room. Anybody for public comment? Please raise your hand, state your name, and give us your 3-minute spiel. Saving it for last. All right. Hearing none, we'll close public comment and move on to a quick Q&A with Ms. Gaffney, the superintendent of Second Harbor Schools.
Welcome, everybody. I know most of you here. I'm Jennifer Gaffney. I'm the superintendent at Baptist at the school. I just finished with our budget hearing, and so I'm so did Susie for joining me tonight. But I'm here tonight first to share a thank you with the board and with Alex for giving me the opportunity to chat with you briefly tonight. We have a really important, every year is important when it comes to voting for the school budget, but this year is particularly so because of the financial challenges that we are foreseeing in the future. We have put together a budget for 26-27, which is asking. I just want to acknowledge that we are asking for 7.9%, which is significantly higher than what we asked for in the tax cap legislation was enacted in 2012. Our overall average is significantly lower. Overall, for the last 12 years, we've been looking at a 2.49 average tax levy. So we recognize that we're coming out asking for quite a bit. And it's honestly to ensure that we are able to provide our community with the best possible education for our students in this community. Most of you have either had kids or have grandkids in our district. You know that we don't really have fancy things in Sackett. We are truly a need-based district that focuses on spending our resources on hiring good teachers and providing a high-quality personalized education to our students. As you are all feeling in your own households, there's a lot of struggles from the economy right now, with soaring health insurance costs, and diesel prices, and electricity, and we're feeling all of those. We're feeling that pinch in our school district, and state aid has been very stagnant over the last handful of years, and it has not kept up with the rate of inflation. And our fund balance levels in a small school are not significant to begin with. So what we're asking for is support for our budget. We are asking for proposition to purchase one wheelchair bus. It is, unfortunately, it's not a great year to have the wheelchair bus be up for purchase, but we are required to have a wheelchair bus. We are asking for approval from our community to allow us to utilize capital reserve funds to pay off debt as it becomes due, which is going to help put us on a much more stable financial path in the next 5 to 10 years. So I don't want to take up more time of this meeting. I just want to let you know that I am always available. If you want to call me, if you want to stop in and visit me at Sackett Harbor Central, you want to call me and say, hey, I'll meet you out for coffee. I'd love to meet with anybody and have conversations about our budget so you truly have a good understanding of the why behind all of our asks. And I will be around at the end of this meeting, if anybody would like to talk with me individually. I will also be at the town board meeting tomorrow and be at the town board meeting. And like I said, I'm always available to meet with anyone at any time. So with that, Alex, I'll turn it over.
Can you just tell everyone when the budget meeting is, or when the board vote is?
We have a budget hearing tonight, so that's done. Check it off the list. The budget vote is on Tuesday, the 19th. Polls open at 1 o'clock. They close at 8 o'clock, and it's right in our gym lobby. The gym doors will be open like it always is. You can come right in that area. We've got Fred Escorto and Karen, who's been managing the process for many years. They'll be there to welcome you. We'll probably do some type of an exit survey this year, so you can share feedback directly with the board, so they can help do their planning for the future as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes, any other questions for Jen? Thanks very much. Next up, we have our treasurer's report. Belinda.
I'll just need a salary sheet to be approved according to what was discussed the budget. And just to accept the tax warrant for the total amount of $627.80. And then just to schedule the next month-end meeting for the fiscal year. If it's okay if we have it on the 29th of May at 4:30. And then I was putting a copy of the bank billing and equipment rental rates that I got for 2026, 2027 year, just to just have a look at it. I just thought it's good information to have, and then just to approve the monthly reports. That's all from us.
Okay.
So we will need 3 motions again.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer tax warrant in the amount of $627,080.
I'll second. Any questions, guys? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the salary sheet as updated from our last meeting.
Second.
Any questions, comments, guys?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peg Greg is a abstain, as he didn't have time to look at them yet. All right. Any questions for Belinda, guys, before we move on? Belinda, you good? Great.
Okay.
Lynn, you're up.
I'd like to make, as you know, you have my report there. Just want to open it up if you have any questions or concerns.
That's good. I know I owe you guys the updated meter think, so you can see what's actually missing, but
Okay.
I am on it. All right. Anything else for Lynn, guys?
No.
Beautiful. Next in the packet is a bank memorandum. I'm gonna get to that in my report.
Okay.
We have the tax warrant, so we saw.
I can speak for John.
Okay. Next up is the police. John is on an urgent call, could not be here.
Just a couple updates from John. He is still working on hiring summer help to address our summer manning request. He has a couple that are just graduating and they have to get through a certain number of time with the county before they're eligible to take on a second job. So he's working on that one. I know that there's been some talk about loose dogs on the Sackets Harbor Living. What people don't know is our friend and resident KJ was running a dog rescue in Dexter, and he had 35 dogs that were taken. And somehow the dog control and the county allowed, they hear me talking about it. the county and dog control brought 35 of his dogs from the dog rescue that he was running illegally in Dexter, and they brought him to the village here. And he has 35 dogs in his house right now, and those are the dogs that keep getting out. They've been referring calls to the state police, the county dog control. So for everybody that keeps posting about it online, we're trying our best. They're not helping support our local police. They allowed him to bring those dogs to our village. They were not in a good they were malnourished and should not be here. So somehow the county and dog control did not do what they're supposed to be doing. And now John and our police crew is trying to clean up the mess. So, he was running some not-for-profit animal rescue that was being done illegally. But they transported all 35 of those dogs to his house. I don't know if you've been by and seen all the empty dog crate kennels or whatever. They're supposed to have dogs in them. So he's trying to navigate all of that, and he's on top of that. The other situation that I wanted to report on is there's a homeless man that keeps showing up in Sackets. Twice he's been escorted back to his home in Calcium. He's walking from Calcium, takes him 4 hours, and he's been sent back twice. This past Wednesday was the last time. Both times he was found in front of my house. So just letting you guys know. I don't know why he keeps coming to Sackets, but if you see someone in sandals and socks and he doesn't look like he maybe knows where he is, he might be this gentleman that keeps somehow ending up in Sackets Harbor. So he's been busy. John's been busy the last month with dealing with that, dealing with the dog situation, and also trying to get more police officers to kind of help manage all of that together. In addition to the call list that he has here. Any questions about any of that?
AJ has those dogs right now?
Yes, yes. And dog control and the state, somehow, John's been having a hard time navigating, and he's been trying to not rat out other police departments because that makes him, obviously it's not good for us to be doing that, but they set up the village to now we're dealing with the dogs that are
Operating in official capacity?
I'm not sure. I mean, that seems that way. I know dog control was called on 2 of the situations that were posted on that Sackets Living page. Dog control neglected to even come the first time. They didn't even show up to somebody's report. And then the second time, I'm not sure what happened with that. So it's been an ongoing issue that John's trying to someone to actually do something.
To call
County dog control and the state police.
It doesn't necessarily just have to be the dog control. There's other people at the county we can talk to.
I think we're at a point where we do need to make a phone call. I know John's been trying, he's talked to the judge because when they got him in Dexter, a judge said then that he could have got a ticket. He didn't even get a ticket. They literally relocated all 35 of those dogs. And so, yeah, it's a problem.
Well, when he was down to 2 dogs, he couldn't even keep them.
Correct. Now he's got I don't know if he still has all 35. I don't know. No one's been allowed in the house to see. I know they transported 35 dogs from that animal rescue, the unofficial animal rescue he was running in Dexter. When they got him, it was when it was like below 0 and freezing, and somebody reported him, and that's the only reason that we were able to.
For adoption, is there anything?
I don't know.
Friends of mine have adopted one of the dogs, but that was before this. This is one of his.
Yeah,
before.
It's an ongoing police matter, so I don't.
Well, one of the things is, if there's things aren't brought up for adoption, you've got to, there are alternatives, including euthanasia. If nobody claims a dog.
I mean, that's not our.
It's not our call
business.
because he had.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the village's problem, is it?
I'm just sharing that it's a police matter and the police department is aware of it and they're doing what they can legally to control the situation. So I know people have said some things. If you could just share that we're aware that there's a problem, we've got police involved and we're trying to correct the situation to the best that we can.
To both of those issues,
So I'm just giving you guys an update on that.
through our other resources.
I think we might need to start pulling in some other
There's a few people at
resources.
the county that I talk to fairly often that I can check in with and see what they think. I don't know exactly what their inside baseball is going to be for getting them to
And I can
pressure on
always,
their dog control folks, but
I know John didn't feel like he was getting the support from the state police and the dog control
Okay.
as much as he needed,
yeah, all right.
right? So,
We'll follow up on that.
okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yep.
Any other notes or questions to follow up with Officer Gleason with later? From anybody? Okay. We'll move on to the fire department.
I have nothing other than the normal stuff.
Next up is the heritage area. David?
Okay, I also submitted a report, just a few things. One, the most significant is the zoning law revision committee, which has been an honest standing committee composed of myself, Jennifer Quinn is planning board chair, Jim Corbin as a zoning officer, and River is ZBA. And we're recommending that the board adopt a temporary moratorium on short-term rentals. We didn't expect obviously any action tonight, because the other recommendation is that you consult with the village attorney. But
Yeah, we saw it like yesterday or.
yeah, I mean, you just got it. And so, but just to report on that. There is a new New York State grant out called New York Plays. It just came out. It's due on mid-June, but we'll look to see if there's any projects we can submit for that.
I did some digging on that as well, and it looks like they're looking for like shovel-ready projects.
Yeah.
So we might be a little bit behind
Yeah.
for anything major, but if there's something small, we could do. I don't know what I don't recall what the like minimum size of the grant is.
I think 100,000.
But this is like one of those situations where we may want to look at having projects in pocket for future years if we think grants like this might be recurring. I don't know that we have enough time to really get something
No, I
great
don't honestly.
in the
think-
running.
Yeah. And then when they put a short deadline on it, usually.
They know that going in.
They're going to apply. It's
Yeah.
Right. They already have, yeah.
And that one was very specific to new, it was like water things, right? Like a splash pad.
New York Swims and New York Plays.
Well, New York Swim was part of that though.
Yes.
Right.
I think.
My only thing was we don't even have a location where something like that would go. So that's my only, I was like, I don't know where we don't have a place to put something like
But I
that.
do think, looking longer and saying, let's assume that this or something like it might recur every year or two.
I just know this comes up every few years. Someone's always wanting, like, as long as I've been here, somebody wants water access and we just don't have a place to put it or do it. We don't have property in order to
And it's
have
right.
lakefront or whatever.
The other grants that are going to out probably pretty soon are the CFA grants, which this is the type that would normally be included in that. I'm
Right.
not sure why.
They carved it out.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, couple other sort of minor items. Request that the board approve additional hours for, this is the Pickering Beach coordinator, Sarah Connolly, to work. The money's in the budget. Well, Kathy's talked to Belinda about it. And so she could do some work under this year's money until May 31st, just to get the museum ready and that sort of thing. And asking for her pay, or hourly pay is $17.70, and will come under out of line item A7140-13.
You know what that,
We increased
timeline
her
is?
salary or her hourly rate for this budget anyways, right?
well, but they're asking to give her more hours before the end of the year,
For the budget.
which,
Oh,
if
I
there's,
see.
if there's
Okay.
room in the budget, I think that's fine.
It's a budget line we're using this year's salary, there is 5,000. We just have to adjust it.
Okay.
Approve that.
Linda, do you need a vote to do the budget transfer for that? Or just,
Yes, please. I
Okay.
will need that.
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve some extra hours for that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The last thing is, the village has we call it it's a Fort Drum project or Fort Drum program called SnapLink. Our SnapLink partner unit is the 41st Engineer Battalion. They've done a lot of things the last couple of years under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Brady. He's being reassigned. So actually Kathy worked up a resolution, just a show of appreciation for the work that he's done for the village. The unit has done a lot. They've done what.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that to him, but yeah, thank you so much for that.
Well, and DPW has been a great support, but they'll send out 40, 50 soldiers. We have to be to do work at the cemetery, for example. So they did work at both the military cemetery and the lakeside cemetery twice a year now. So anyway, so if you would pass that resolution, I think you have it.
Yep.
Yes, we do. I'll make a motion to pass the resolution of appreciation for Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Brady.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Any questions for Dave? Thanks. Kathy, you're up.
Okay, I each have my report, then over to after the weekend. Businesses are open for the season on Fridays. We're open on the weekends through May. We'll extend the hours in June and then be in August. Our first tour group is scheduled to come May 28th. It's a little bit different than normal. They'll actually be here for a full day, so we hope they'll actually get out to more stores and businesses. We have confirmed with our contractor that he will start work on our porch finding the week of May 18th. So we're like getting right down to the wire, but we'll hopefully get it done while still in May.
We'll be done before Memorial Day.
He said.
Probably not.
No,
Really?
no.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
He told me.
no, that's right. He will not.
It will not be
I'm
done
sorry.
before
I'm sorry. It will not be done.
How often do we have to deliver espresso shots? I can do 2 a week.
It's more painkiller.
The visitor guide, the new visitor guides are out. I gave the board members a copy. If anybody else wants something with me, we also have lots at the visitor center. We will start distributing those this week. We have the TI Council's brochure swap coming up on Thursday. So we exchanged with all of the other chambers of commerce and other locations throughout the area. Plus, we'll be getting them out to the Syracuse area, Thousand Islands, and beyond. And then the only other thing I want to mention is the hometown hero banners are all in. So we will
What's the number this year?
like 102. Yeah. That'll be our
We put these at the airport as well.
Yes, we do.
Heike, I was, probably know because I messed with your desk, but
Yes, your laptop is still.
it's not mine. It's one of the spares. It's gonna run the
Okay.
videos. Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah, we should
these are
talk
great.
about that.
I was a little skeptical of the smaller form. But Heike was saying, people are more likely to take it. They can put it in their bag. So it's nice. I like it a lot.
And it's much more cost effective.
Yeah.
We'll also be doing a rack card. I have a mock-up, not color, I'm sorry, but of just of all of our events because we did not have enough space to put in there.
Oh, nice.
And that is sort of our plan going forward is that way this could potentially be reused if we needed to. And we just need to do a rack card every year. So it's
a good idea.
We can save and we keep.
That's a good idea.
Good.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions for Kathy? All right, next up is the planning board. Yeah.
You should have my short report. And seems like it, project list has slowed a little bit from the winter time. Gearing up for the next meeting. Any questions about? And just I'll add to that, next week is the second visioning session. And part of this group of topics pertains to planning and zoning.
Are those are closer together, right? It's like the 20th and,
Yes, those, the number 2 and 3 are about a week.
okay. All right, thanks. Any other questions for Jen, guys? Or planning board questions, notes? All right, on to engineering. Sabrina?
Market Square Park, Alex, you had inquired about fold-up swim ladders and swimming diving signs. We reached out to Structure Marine. They're not very responsive, but they're a dock manufacturer.
Okay.
They don't really have off-the-shelf items. So I guess the recommendation was if you find something that looks like it works, even with diving signs, maybe Sundance has something, a brochure or something. But,
Where are those supposed to be?
Well, I asked if we had recovery ladders, so if someone falls in off the marina.
Oh,
And then for over on Robbins Hill, where there isn't electricity, I thought putting at least a no diving sign because it's deep enough to swim, but it's not.
do we
very,
want
you know,
to, do you think it'll encourage people to swim though? Do we want them swimming over there?
Either like, I don't think it's necessarily, we need to do it or not, but I
Okay.
just was curious. But basically the reason I asked them was there's a specific, the dock has like a T slot where all the like moorings and things attach. And I thought there might be a standard swim ladder that the
Okay.
manufacturer made. And if we wanted to get it, I just wanted to ask what that cost
Gotcha.
before I presented it. So I asked him to just see if there was one went with those.
Okay, I was just confirming the location too. I was like, we're not doing public docks, right?
No.
Okay,
Navy Point installed those safety ladders. They're very unobtrusive and not very, I wouldn't suspect that they were very expensive. So ask Craig.
yeah, something. Those can look
For like West Marine.
Yeah, West Marine.
Yeah, I thought there might be like a
There's no special
OEM,
like,
you know,
ladder that mates into the dock.
No, this is a drop, step.
Mhm.
It just drops over the side, real simple. But it's a safety feature we need to have.
Well, there is a ladder there on the docks.
One
Yes.
box,
three.
you have three.
there's 3 dollars.
So you may want to put
We need,
a little more. I mean, you can, it's not so high that you can't like
We
sit there
didn't
and
have
hang
one
on
all
it,
of
but
last year. We've never had them.
no, but it's lawsuit.
most of the
They were
people,
installed per code, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about, like, I know that it was designed correctly, but just for convenience, I wanted to see if there was.
I think you went the ones that kind of like, they kind of like spring up. I think was that what you were looking for too?
I just was curious if they had any that were designed for those docks specifically.
So the water and sewer upgrades, one item I think Corey had brought up in previous meetings is possibly extending water to people that don't necessarily have it. We're kind of at the point where it's a little too late because we guys are coming next week. But something you're interested in, sooner than later, but just want to bring that up. Let's see here, 1812 Estate Subdivision. So we received DEC comments. We addressed them, sent them back. They were minor. So we should be getting DEC concurrence shortly. Department of Health, they required a wetland delineation. That's expected to happen within the next couple weeks. And then hopefully, potentially June, July, we should have all comments from and make comments from DOH.
Great.
Interesting that DOH would ask about wetlands. That's kind of not their purview.
Yeah, I think we were kind of back to.
Were you dealing with Claude Curley?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so we're addressing that. We've got Parks Environmental, they're gonna come and they're the same people that did the other wetland delineation, so. Should get that report in a few weeks, I would imagine.
Sounds good. Well, did we check in with any of those people on Outer Dodge for water or no? Yeah, we talked about it, but I didn't reach out to anyone. Did you?
What do you mean?
But
What do you mean?
yeah, well, there's a section on Outer Dodge that doesn't have, isn't connected to the sewer
Yeah.
that wouldn't be, like some of the places that are, like out where I am, it's way too far, but those houses are pretty close. Okay.
It's just a matter of where they put a lift station, because you're gonna need a lift station.
It would go right on the end, right? Yeah,
Do they have water already? Those, like,
Yeah.
on Hounsfield Street,
Yeah.
to the bridge, they have
Yes.
water but no sewer.
Yes.
Is that, okay.
It's AC piping is the issue there.
Like a dozen homes.
You'd probably, yeah.
7 to 8, it says here.
do we want to put that in and, or knock on the rest of the doors and see if we get
I
support for it?
think
Or-
you should add it, and if it has to be nothing checked off in the end, yes.
I think we should add it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been failing at getting that WIA grant for quite a while. And at this point, we're just progressing with or without it, so it doesn't hurt to try and add it. You need anything from us to do that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Great. Anything else? Any questions for Brandon? Thanks. On to the clerk's office. Peggy, what do you got for us?
It's been busy but fairly steady on the office. We're ramping up for the next round of water billing.
I'm getting faster at it.
And we did get the water quality reports from Jake, and yeah, the Patriot Pride kids coming on Friday to stuff those on.
Oh, nice.
That's about it.
Any questions for Peg? Yes. Perfect. Thanks very much. All right. Next up is community orgs. Start with the Historical Society.
We have an open house at the Old Stone Chapel Episcopal Church on May 16th, Saturday. We are going to try to get it open at least some weekends this summer. And concerts are all set to start at the end of June.
Did you guys sync up on, were we using the same stage on the 4th on the Saturday? I know that we talked about maybe using, like having the stage out for the 4th. Is that- You're not, okay. There was chatter.
I think we talked early when, I think when you first started. And-
No, we
That's
don't
fine.
need, we're
I just
not.
want to make sure that,
All in the.
I talked to you about the Memorial Day weekend. We're having the bridal expo at the two venues. So if you guys want to be open for tours, there'll be people.
Okay.
I know the Presbyterian churches as well.
Okay, yeah, I got that written down. Oh, that's what it was. Porch Music Fest is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was in my head.
You guys have all your sites. You still looking for more?
We have enough bands. We'll take a couple more, but we have.
Oh, I meant porches. But
Oh, yeah.
How many bands do we have now?
14.
14? Last count was 9. That's pretty good.
Very cool. All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Do we have anybody from the chamber here? I don't think so. Anybody on Zoom from the chamber? All right. I will open the floor to other community orgs. Good. Courtney, anything from the town?
No.
Okay,
I'm sure there is, but.
nothing you need to. Great, all right, move on to board reports. I have just a couple things. We have the fireworks budget. We talked about increasing it for the 250th. I don't think we're looking at, Connie, just so you know, we're not looking at changing any classic fireworks. That might just be a longer show. Al LaValle called this morning. He just needs a budget to write the contract. So if we want to add any funds, that's something that we did budget for generally, but we didn't commit to specifically using that for the fireworks this year. So I need a number to give him. And last we talked about it, we just spitballed the idea, but didn't hash out a number.
Can you remind me what we currently have in the budget?
I think it's
It's about 7,000.
7?
7,000.
Okay. Do we want to up it to 10? I don't know what that'll get us. I have no idea.
Somewhere around 3,000 of this is insurance. And so going from 7 to 10 is like 70% longer. So it's a decent value to increase the budget a little,
Okay.
because he's paying for the same
Okay.
overhead costs.
So to bump it to 10
I
would
think-
make it
I
a
think 10
decent,
is a longer show and we can,
okay.
Connie, do you have any problem with like a slightly longer duration show?
No, the only thing was that at the post fireworks meeting last year with Kelly, we noted that the fireworks will be Saturday night. And therefore on Sunday morning, we're going to need a cleanup crew
Okay,
because we don't have staffing Sunday morning. And last year, there was really quite a lot of cleanup after the fireworks. So we talked with Kelly about that.
I said I would bring, yes, I do remember that conversation. We do need to talk. I mean, that would require us calling in our DPW crew overtime on a Sunday. So we
let
need
me
to
see
talk
if
about
Al or somebody else, I mean, it's not a, it's just
it's a lot of no, I don't
garbage.
think,
It's not dangerous or.
correct, but there's a lot of garbage on the battlefield. That was a concern,
Okay.
which is a separate issue from the budget,
Yeah.
from this. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good to know though. I appreciate it,
Okay.
Connie. We'll see if we can find somebody to get off of this plate.
Okay.
All right. You guys want to do a quick vote on that just to?
I'll make a motion to increase the budget to 10,000 for the fireworks show.
Hope, did you say second?
A second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Right. Next up, I had a call today with Dank. There's a 90-day termination on the contract. So it's going to take us some time to square everything out. I think we signed the contract. There's no early termination fee. We signed the 5-year contract as it is. They continue operating. If we want to post the job, we can do that, refine how we want to post it. More thoroughly look at what the cost of like the SCADA system that they provide, what that's going to cost us, make sure we're not missing anything. And then if we decide to hire someone, we just need to give them 90 days notice, which I think is plenty of time for us to hire, onboard, train, and transition. We're not going to have somebody in place on June 1st at this point.
We budgeted the full contract
We did.
amount in the event that we couldn't find somebody, correct? Okay.
Yeah. So if that's okay with everybody, I'm good to sign that. We just need to vote on that as well.
Okay, I'll make a motion for Alex to sign the contract with Dank.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. And the last, well, do this too. We have our Dank report. I was trying to see. I didn't have time to look it up. We did 14 million gallons metered, so we're fixing some of the leaks, but it's still high. We also are now providing water to Brownville through Hounsfield. We're working on getting a number. We know what Hounsfield is providing Brownville, which is about 20 to 30,000 gallons a day. The number I do not have yet is what Hounsfield used to get from Brownville that we are also now supplying them. We can figure out if we still have a large leak issue or if the remaining increase that we've seen over the last few months is from their added usage. So I'm working on that.
Did you tell
We did
him
close
about
the
this leak that we found?
No. Well, yeah, well, it's in the report, but
I don't think we addressed it,
we
so.
were tightening up the whole system. This house right over here, this white house right over here. There was a report that water was leaking in the backyard right here, so Eric and Jared went over to inspect it. They looked through the window, has no boards, no flooring on the downstairs level. And the water was right up to the level of the floorboards.
So we do have a public pool.
And
We do. But we found the leak. Remember, we were trying to be like, where's the leak? Where's the leak? And we knew it was on that corner somewhere. Apparently it's in that house.
Well, so this is the April report, so we'll see when the May report comes.
We've since found it, turned it off, but it became a safety issue with the fire department too, because if they went in for a fire and there's no floor, the fire, emergency personnel would be hurt, and it's an abandoned home because the people just left it. It is not, it's abandoned. They were doing some renovations, and apparently left in the middle of the night or something. I don't know.
105.
Interesting. Yeah, but we have wastewater of 20 million gallons. So our INI is INIing a lot. It was a very wet month, so I don't think that's totally crazy, but it being 20 makes me think actually maybe a lot, well, yeah. So just something to bring up.
That are in place right now that he's working on, that they are working on, will hopefully control that
Okay.
a lot better, because that's what we found out. Lifting the manhole covers, a lot of water's coming through the areas that need to be done. We have infiltration.
Yeah, no, we know. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. But one thing that Lynn and I talked about was looking at places to put regional meters so that when we have a leak, we can see. There's some places that are dead ended in the village where if we put a meter here, we know if a leak's happening there. There's other places that are looped that's harder to do. But I think it's worth spending, I think, a few $1,000s on that because I think we'll save it on catching leaks earlier. Because we're paying to process water that's just getting.
Well, and in that situation, they left and we're stuck with the bill of the water because there's no person attached to it and that water's been running for how long? So we have to eat what we lost with all that money that's been sitting there, or that water, I mean. So there was no meter, right?
Because it was pulled.
Well, because they
The
pulled,
meter was there before the meters.
correct. It was almost cut before the meter. So it's almost like they did it knowing what they were doing and they're gone.
I get the meter flow every morning and annoy people that have running faucets just in case it's a.
Yeah.
Or floor leak, but okay.
Yeah.
So that's it for the tank letter.
So what's the conclusion about those stopgap meters that you just mentioned?
Well, we still have to spec out where they could go, how much they cost, where Lynn could put them, and then we'll come back with a number. But I just wanted to mention that we were talking about it. It's not
Okay,
something we
okay.
need to vote on now because
Oh, thank you.
the bigger meters they're not the same as the house meters. They cost a lot
No.
more. So we don't want to, we can't just throw them all over. We have to figure out a plan, but. I have, and then the last thing I have, before I go to correspondence is the camera. I did not know you guys were already in there and I thought you were not. So I apologize for leaving my stuff all over your desk. I was working on, getting the live cam for the docks. It isn't. So there were 3 problems with it. I've solved 2. It fails whenever Spectrum dies for a minute. And I've got YouTube listening like for when it dies, but I need to get the laptop restarting afterwards. So I know I have a plan, but it's gonna take me a little longer, but hopefully soon. It's just a live feed of YouTube that cuts between the west launch and the east launch. So that if people want to know, like if there's space for their boat, or they just want to take a look at what it looks like in the harbor, we can have a live feed. So it's almost done. It should be done in a week or 2, but I'll get with you on getting that stuff out of your way. It's just, there's a laptop that's gonna live in there and I was using your little dongle.
That was my problem, actually.
I told Heike to take it off. It's fine, yeah. Thanks. And then I have a letter, to your point about the dogs, which is
A resident that,
Yeah.
yeah.
noted. And then it's, well, you saw, I was trying to explain as well. But
Yeah.
We, as much as people would like, I do not have license to go and kidnap people's dogs when they're annoying. So you have to go through the actual police and dog control channels, but.
If we
you're
could,
on it.
if I can get Mrs. Kanaw's phone number, I can reach out to her to explain. I can get it from somebody. She didn't leave it in this letter though.
It might be on her water account or something.
Right, that's why I'm wondering if Peggy could get it for me, perhaps. Peggy? Oh, okay. I can get it from you at the end.
That's all for me, unless someone has any other questions.
I already talked about the police department. The only thing I have to report is the fire department received official notice from New York State that they are no longer an ambulance support system. It takes a while to like recertify. They're now a basic life support, which is BLS, which that's what they've been in the process and continuing to do. So that officially came through from the state. Their April report, they had 8 fire calls, 21 EMS calls, 2 MBAs. and only 3 no response. So that's a pretty good response rate to those calls. I don't know if you saw the accident on Hounsfield and the details of that, but they were 2 underage drinkers with a permit, not even a license, that ran their car into the house.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking of the motorcyclists.
That too. Yeah,
We're
so
also
they've
at 3
they've
a.m.
had some pretty bad accidents this month, but they were 2 permit, they didn't even have a license. They were underage drinkers from Watertown that ran their car into, no, it was out by Old McDonald's farm. Yeah, Town Hounsfield. So that was just a few days ago. And then what was it, 2 weeks ago that they had the motorcycle?
2 motorcyclists.
2 motorcyclists.
On the road, one
Yep.
hit a truck and died, and the other was life flighted and survived.
Mhm.
They were like 21 and 23 at 3 in the
It
morning.
was, yeah, 3 in the
Yeah.
morning, driving too fast around a corner. Didn't see it, so. That's all I had.
Questions for Kelly? Thanks. Craig?
We got a couple of things. Start with the easy one. I think you guys were actually having a conversation before the meeting started, but I've been asked about the status of the courts back here.
Mhm.
And I know at the visioning session last week, multi-use courts was a popular topic. So I just wonder where we.
I was just getting an update from Lynn when you
Right.
came in. That's what I was
Yeah.
doing. I mean, as you know, at the last board meeting, we approved paving back there.
Right.
We're waiting on a second price. The hope and the goal is to have that done and repaved by the end of June, July 1, hopefully. The basketball hoops are already in. We have 4 new basketball
Oh.
hoops they're not, I mean, they're here, but they've arrived. They're not installed. We're waiting to install them until
Remarkably similar to the.
yeah, no. The only thing I don't know is the joint rec committee was, and I don't, maybe Lynn knows, but I think I asked you already and you said you weren't sure, where we have a pickleball net. They were under the thinking that we had one, but I don't know if we do
I
or
know
not.
there's a-
And if we do, I know a person brought one,
Right.
but I think someone thought that the village had one. And if we don't, then we need to maybe
We should.
look into purchasing
Yeah.
one.
That's my knowledge.
Okay.
They're not expensive compared to a basketball hoop.
Right, and we want it to be able to come down so that if there's basketball game, that they can move it and put it somewhere.
They
So,
make the ones with little wheels.
Yep.
You
Um,
compress
Yes.
them.
so are the courts gonna be lined,
yes,
marked out,
yes,
basketball and pickleball?
yes.
Just do 2 different colors.
Basketball on well, Lynn wants to talk to Jeff on how he wants to do that, but there'll be 2 full-size basketball courts and a pickleball court somewhere, whether it's 2 basketball next to each other and the pickleball on the outside or 2 basketball courts and the pickleball in the middle. We haven't figured out the logistics yet. We're hoping, yeah.
We have a commitment to the school for their,
batting cage?
no,
Just use it.
their basketball, shot doctor, right? Do we-
No.
We don't?
Mm-mm.
I thought they asked.
I think we told them they could use it, but I don't think we committed.
No, the basketball coach asked the part of why they're doing this is because there's some renovations happening in the gym and that they need space for like summer practice and a summer rec program. That was part of why we wanted to get it done so that they could utilize the courts back here.
Okay.
So it's not for shot doctor though. Shot doctor is going to be at JCC. They've moved it all the way over there.
What is shop doctor?
It's a basketball camp that's been going
Oh.
on for 15 years. I don't know. Been around for a very long time. Yeah.
The other thing, this too, came out of the visioning session, and it's something that I thought about for a long time, something that we've talked about, we've talked around, we just never go anywhere with it, and that is, water recreation, specifically swimming.
Mhm.
I don't want to put this on the joint rec committee. I would like to head up a small group of people. I don't want to call it a committee because I want to still little bit of a sense of urgency or timeliness to this, but I would like to head up a group of people to look at, you know, what options are out there, both, you know, looking at places along our shoreline, also looking at the feasibility of a municipal pool. Basically, I think my idea was we could come up with a spreadsheet with a list of alternatives or options, and then the hurdles that we would face with each of those. But it's something that I would like to get through within the next months tops. And so we've finally got a document that we can have in hand. And I have, I would like to make a motion on this so that we formalize this, but I do have some people in mind, and they're all here. So I'm going to volunteer that.
Do they know that that's why?
They do not know.
Okay.
I'm going to find out.
Best way to do it. That's a smart move.
Janet. Dick walked out, but Dick and Patty Stevens.
He's a smart man.
And Hope. So the five of us.
Okay.
And that's what we would do, is we would look at a whole host of alternatives. We will explore the entire shoreline. We will look into, you know, cost for municipal pool, cost of construction and maintenance, the grants associated with it. You know, New York Swim has been out there for several years now. And so then we can, you know, we can say to people when they ask, you know, are you guys doing anything about, you know, swimming area?
Right. We did, excuse me, we did that after the visioning session 20 years ago, and I'm not suggesting you don't do it again, but I'll try to dig that out. We just we didn't really look at pools, but we surveyed all the shoreline, the entire shoreline. So I'll see if I can find that. With same thing, pros and cons. And that sort of thing.
Yep.
So I'll see if I can find that.
Okay.
Because that comes up all
You
the
can
time.
be on another committee.
No, I know.
No, it does
I'll
come
see
up.
if I can find that old.
It comes up all the time. I don't know where when I was growing up, Kelly, probably you too, we spent every night of the summer down at the oil dock swimming. My parents' generation did the same thing. My grandparents' generation did the same thing. I don't know if that's Battlefield property or village property there.
Okay.
It is. Okay. So nothing.
It was never safe anyways.
No, I mean.
Well, you can
Just
build
saying,
something
we did that very unsafely, just saying.
Be doing that.
No, we definitely not.
So, I mean,
Jumping off
everybody
those
that
oil
grew up in
docks,
Sackett grew up with a place to swim.
Yeah.
even though that we weren't supposed to.
Right.
We did.
But that's been since mid-80s probably.
Right, but I think they're
Transparency,
looking
I've
for
been- I've been
places
jumping
for.
off Robinson Hill dock for cold plunge with a couple people, and it's still cold.
But even
I'm
that
curious.
place would not be safer. I think they're thinking of
No,
places for
bigger
small
space, yeah,
children
yeah, jump in.
too. They can't be swimming off the oil docks.
That would be the part of this, I think, for small children. I would like to roll in exploring splash pads as well. I know I don't know much about them, but they're very popular. They're, I think, modular in design, so you can start with something and then add to it.
Mhm.
I think Lowville,
I know the city has one.
the city has one. It's very popular.
Yeah.
But
You shouldn't have left.
You got volunteered when you walked out.
That happened to another meeting I was in today, and somebody left the building and came back.
Yep. You just got added to a committee.
not a committee, it's not a committee.
Oh, sorry, a group.
It's a strike group.
So if you guys are okay with that,
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
I'd like to make a motion to form that
Sure.
with the names mentioned, and
Okay.
we would report back to this board within like 2 months.
Okay.
Tops.
I'm for it. I'll second that.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
There's a company called Architects
What do you?
Architects.
Yeah.
Fast,
They
great
can
name.
probably get a hold of them. They can kind of steer you in the right direction. Okay, kind of going right.
Were you guys involved with, was it Loudville?
I think slightly, yeah. I wasn't personally involved.
Okay, but BCA was.
Yes, yep.
Okay. No, I just think it's something that's been, bandied about.
Yeah,
For many years, and
For as long as I've
I
been
think
here, it comes up
we
every
all
year.
agree that we
Mhm.
should.
I think a lot of people
Look
have kicked
into it.
around those ideas. We've never like gotten it in a document with pros and cons and,
Right.
and numbers.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
when,
Right?
yeah. I think having something with costs associated will make it easier to explain.
Right.
Insurance, the
Yeah.
building. I do think it's a pretty expensive venture, but I think having that laid out so that when we explain to people why we are or aren't doing something, at least we have something to back up that
So we
information.
can't, if we say, well, a municipal pool is too expensive, well, if that's true, at least we would have numbers.
Correct, yes.
Because I
No,
think right
that's
now.
probably a
we
good
say
idea.
It's too expensive, but we don't.
Right. No, I would agree.
Especially with the grants that are available now, so.
Well, and at least it would then have something shovel ready that we already have a project in mind that would help for future grants that might come up. So, yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
mean, it's not something obviously that would happen this season, but
I don't know if it would be in the next 5 seasons, but at least we would have something that we're working towards. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks for all the volunteers. That's all I got.
Great.
Better end it on that one.
All right, Sarah is on Zoom. Unless Sarah's not on Zoom, right?
No.
Hope you're up.
Okay, 4th of July thing is, planning is going well. We've got lots of things going on. I've asked, we're getting together with American Legion for barbecue donation. There's a lot of donations that are going to be coming into for the housing authority, and I'm finding that I need to have a location for that money to go to. And I've talked to Betsy Regan today about it. What I'd like to get is a QR code, because people don't walk around with a cash or a checkbook, and buying an ice cream or a popcorn.
What bank account are you putting that in?
That's my point. I want to, he's talked to Stephanie Elliott at the bank about the QR code money going into a bank account for the housing authority.
I can help set up like the payment part if there's a bank account set up. Like,
Okay.
we do that with a few accounts here. That's not too hard to get a QR
No?
code that pays in.
That would be
It's just a
great.
question of who owns the bank account
Exactly.
and the compliance there. We at the village have a few accounts that are, what are they? They're not called in trust. What are they, like the trust accounts that we have that are earmarked for specific funds at the end of our balance sheet there? What's the name?
Is that not just the, like those willed funds? Like-
Yeah, the willed funds, yeah. So we have willed funds accounts where somebody donates and says, this can only be used for a dog park. It's donation to the village. And if we don't build one, it just sits and waits. So we have a few of those. We could potentially do that, but if they can have their own bank account, that would be better.
Easier.
I would like for that, because what I'd like to see happen, what we're having made is a little poster with the QR code that I would like to have, not just for the 4th of July celebration, but for Can-Am and the band, the concerts on the band field, an ongoing, continuous fundraising opportunity and awareness for the community to know about. So,
Yeah, I can help you on the tech side to get that set up.
right, that's great. Okay, so there's that. I was in the visioning meeting with Craig, and I know that we're not going to discuss the short-term rentals, but I really have an opinion about not pushing it down don't push the can down the block. There's this New York law that I sent you all some flyers about, Real Property Law Article 12-D. It goes into effect June 25th of 2026. And that says that townships can decide to have some policy about short-term rentals. And there's lots of advantages to having a policy The research shows that, if you don't have a policy, the judges usually go with the property owner. And we're really struggling with wanting housing for young families. Well, if a house becomes a short-term rental, then you're losing out on the opportunity for a young family to have a home. And then also there's control, there's barriers, there's boundaries for short-term rentals that the neighbors would feel safe because there's regulations and there's fire safety and there's, all this kind of stuff. So I really don't want us to push this.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the moratorium rationale and
Right.
legalese, and it's short. It's, I think, 9 months was the duration. Which was just to say, hold off any new ones until we can come up with zoning.
And specifically, we have Shaw House, possibly Shaw Development, and then the 1812. I don't want those new housing developments to have the potential to become
Sure.
short-term rentals.
I've also sent you guys what is not, it's not refined enough for like public review yet, but like a basic draft of some ideas for that policy. I don't necessarily think if we can get a policy in place in 2 months that a moratorium is necessary. So, I think you've seen it, right? I sent it to the board.
Mhm.
Yeah, so read through that, put some comments on it. We can push it out to, my plan was for us to review what I had written, make sure that we thought it made some semblance of sense, then
Right.
send it to Dave and Janet's group
Right.
for them to review and see what they think.
I want us all to work together.
A lot of laws that have been passed, various.
Yeah, I mean,
Various places in the state, if you want.
I don't want to go like long form on this right now, but there are a lot of edge cases that I think I tried to write a few into it that we want to consider. But I'm happy, I'll send you guys if you want to see what we have now. It definitely is not ready for like the limelight. It's a first draft, but I think it delineates a lot of the challenges of the different types of enforcement. For example, if you live in your house and you have a spare bedroom, I don't think we should ever limit. And there are many communities that say if it's your primary residence, you can rent rooms in your house, because not many people do now, but it used to be how a lot of people paid for their homes when they had empty rooms to help pay the bills. And people still do that. So I've included a bunch of like stipulations I think we need to at least consider before we go and block something outright.
So I guess in theory, this would apply to any newly constructed homes, but existing homes that
Haven't
go
listed
on the
yet.
market.
That haven't listed yet is the thing. It's not about being sold. So the way the moratorium would work is if you're already operating a short-term rental, we're hands off until later.
Right.
It would say you can't spin up a new one.
Right.
So it's an option, and it's something that places have done. I appreciate you not expecting us to jump on it today because we've only seen it for 2 days and I read it once, but I think having some time to deliberate about it, I'm not even necessarily against that, but I think I'd rather, like you said, I don't want to just kick it down the road and say we're going to do a moratorium every 9 months for 9 months.
No, but I think the moratorium will keep us on a calendar, on a schedule though. I'm not opposed to doing that, but I do think I did have some questions about the urgency of doing it like right now. It seemed like when I got it, I was like, oh, did something happen that we need to do this right this second? And I am also concerned with enforcement and how that's going to look and how that's going to inundate our office. How are they going to, I just don't know the logistics of that and what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
We don't have the personnel to enforce things. So I just need to have that delineated for me so that I understand what that's going to look like. We don't have the bandwidth to take on enforcement. So that's my only concern. I know we need to do it. I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I just don't know
Yeah, we need to
logistically
know
how.
how it looks like.
Yeah, I just need to know what it's going to look like.
We might have to beef up the zoning.
I have no idea.
Well, I wonder about, the county has a bed tax law that you have to sign a form. So the county may require municipal, like if there's a piece of the bed tax form that requires municipal zoning approval, the county could be our enforcement arm if they're willing.
But we need to
say-
check into that
Right,
to
so
see.
there's-
That's
But are
the
we
question.
trusting people to disclose
That's the problem.
That's, yeah.
But that's what I don't know how we would enforce that. We can't call them a liar when they're filling out a zoning
All you gotta
application.
do is go on. You're not gonna get them all. because-
Right.
Right.
Well, this is part of the thing that I put in my bullets was like, seasonal cottages where it's been rented to cousins for the last 60 years. Are we going to try and make that not legal anymore? Because that's technically a short-term rental if it's week by week. So we need to actually delineate what we define as a short-term rental. And then in my doc, I said basically a full-time capable home that is listed for
I think
as
on the
not
mechanism
a
that you're
person's
saying.
primary residence, right? Because like there are people who, they may want to travel for a month in the summer, but it's where they live the rest of the year. Do we care if they rent their house out while they're out of town? Probably not if it's their primary residence. If it's a cottage that's only open 3 months of the year and like somebody uses it themselves for a month and then rents out the other
I mean,
8 weeks to pay for it.
Those are
a commercial enterprise, like Verbo Airbnb or.
But people can list their spare bedroom on Airbnb. They can list their house while they're out of town, even though it is their full. So it's not as simple as. if
That's
it's on
where I
that
feel
website.
like it's overwhelming to understand how to do this, because there are family cottages that people do rent within their family that might post it. Like, do I want to tell a family how they? Yeah, it's very
So
complicated.
that's, I'll give you guys what I have.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see what you think.
The other thing that's mentioned in the memo is the county, what part of the law is the county is doing a registry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean.
So I got a notice for the place above the bottle from them saying you have to do bed tax now.
But it's another reason to kind of wait to see how that.
Right.
Plays out.
Well, and I think.
That's why I almost don't want to be ahead of it, because I don't know how they're going
Yeah.
to.
No, but I
Well,
think.
the moratorium is a
If
reasonable.
if we start working on it right now, that 9 months is going to go very.
Yes,
it will.
I mean, you have at least probably 2 months, just if you have a law, just to get the law through the process
Sure.
is really 2 months.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's complicated.
we're asking the attorney to.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Well, I'll send you guys what I have and we can revisit whether we do the moratorium next month or we discuss it again, but we'll work on it because I agree. I don't think it's a punt it forever situation. But there's a lot of little edge cases that I think are worth talking through. So we're not, creating more problems than we're solving.
We, probably not aware of any other municipality in the area that's already done this.
Clayton did it, and so
Placid
did
Put a,
Shimo, I think.
stop in place.
Shimo did it because they wanted to, it got turned down, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I know in the last couple of years, they've been trying to stop short-term rentals, but Clayton has one.
And that's another reason to make sure
They
that,
have a law or a.
I believe, not a moratorium, they actually have a law or a zoning law or something, I believe.
and that's another reason to make sure, like, if we're trying to do it, if we do it in a way that is mostly productive and doesn't have a lot of side effects, it will have more support than if we're screwing up a bunch of things that are already happening that aren't a problem. So. Cool.
Yeah.
Worth getting what they have. It's
Yeah.
Public record.
Yeah, we have a few.
Do we anticipate
We have a
that,
lot of sample laws.
Okay.
There are, of
Do we
course,
an-
laws that have been passed in other.
Why don't I do this? I'll open just a dedicated folder on the share drive. And you guys can throw in the laws you have. I'll throw in our
Idea.
drafts and we can start looking at it.
So we can collaborate.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
What else you got for us, Hope?
That was it.
Okay. Any questions for Hope? Yeah, just message me about the QR code stuff. I can help.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
On the payment tech support for Can-Am's bank account too. All right. Next up, we have correspondence. I already did the Dank report. We have the letter from the Battlefield Alliance. Mark is here. I replied to that. Peg is working on getting you your documents. And Eric and Mike Hoagland are meeting with Kathy from the Battlefield Trust. I don't know if you'll be there. She called me today and asked to meet with me. I offered to just meet at the same time, so she's not repeating the same spiel twice. I just figured it's more respectful of her time. She said that'd be fine, and so I may be there as well. I gave Eric and Mike the option to tell me, meet her on your own time if they wanted a private meeting with her. Let's see, we have old business, the code of ethics. I don't really want to pass any revisions to something while we have a board member missing. There's no holes in it right now, but so if it's okay with you guys, I think we should to use Hope's term, kick the can down the road a month.
I just wanted to make sure that, Greg, did you get the copies that I asked Caroline to put in your mailbox of, we got some information from the town, some of the work that they're doing on updating theirs that I just wanted us to have in case we wanted to. That's ours, that's
In your
currently,
mailbox is a-
but in your mailbox is some of the information that the town, they're going through the same process right now.
My physical mail.
Yes, there's some drafts in there for us to look at.
Is that okay with everybody? Cool. Then we have the reporting resolution for NYS LRS.
What's that stand for?
New York State. Peggy, help me out. Local retirement house. The L through me. You have everything you need? Okay. We can't pass it now.
Oh, because she's not here.
When is it due?
It's due tomorrow. Yes.
You want to just pass it as with the info we have? And leave hers off?
I don't know where that paper went, but I have. Oh, there it is.
Which says it as the instrument.
Perfect. So it just dictates, there's a number of estimate hours that each of us put in. Peg put that into the document. That's really all it is. It's some sort of weighting factor. So you get like X% of the equivalent of a full-time job towards retirement based on the number of hours you're doing as a person on the board. It's, unless you're already doing a lot of state work that qualifies, it's not going to mean much. So.
Only for people that have not yet retired.
I will make a motion
They're not,
to,
Greg.
I retired real young, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
I'll make a motion to pass the reporting resolution.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any new business that was not included in the packet from anyone at the table?
No.
All right. We'll open up the floor to one more public comment and then get out of here. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great.
At the last meeting, there was a discussion that he suggested that at this meeting, there would be a presentation about the history of the LDC so that people could have some more appreciation for what it is, how it originated.
Sure.
What's the status of that?
We can do one. I guess it's up to you guys. Would you like to do a separate meeting or have it attached to one of our board meetings? I'm okay
To
with
what they
either.
want.
I'm obviously just gauging preference.
I didn't take, I thought Mike's suggestion was that we put out more information to explain 1812. I think I missed the piece about the LDC explanation of the historical value. I think someone from LDC should be here to address that.
Well, she's asking about specifically the LDC's organization.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We aren't, I think it should come from them.
Oh, I'm just saying, do we want to invite them to do it in a board meeting in
Sure.
the future? or-
I think that would be
Okay.
probably the easiest.
Great. Yeah, that's fine.
I think a lot of us don't understand.
They've been around since 1986. They've been around a long time, the LDC.
But has it changed
No,
But-
membership?
I
Oh, yeah.
Year?
I mean,
Changes
yes, of
every-
course, yeah.
Every year. It has 2 members on it from our board, the sitting mayor and 1 other board member, and then 5. I
think that would be great.
So what is it that you want from them specifically so that I could ask to make sure that so you want the history of LDC, or do you want their mission?
Very owned it for years. And before that, the village owned it. I'm not quite sure. So that people
Owned what?
understand.
You're talking about the land or the organization?
Yeah, LDC and the land are 2 totally different things, so I just want to make sure I understand.
I understand.
Yes, they're tied into, it is the LDC that now has that land and going to develop it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think visuals would be very, very helpful because there's the discussion of north, south. I mean, that means nothing to me. And, you know, so people can appreciate it. And then my next thought is, why wasn't there a public laws before the residents as a referendum to going forward with this? I don't ever recall that.
It wasn't brought as a referendum. Referendums generally are only required for certain things, and this wasn't required. They
Why
tend to be.
wasn't it required?
I don't know. I don't write that part of it. It's just the way the referendum law, there's certain types of law that require a direct vote. Like the school board budget, for example, requires a referendum and our budget does not. As to why that is the case, that's a long legal question for whoever wrote the state law over the last 200 years.
Well, we have a lawyer. Could the lawyer
I mean, I'm happy to
weigh in on that as well?
Oh,
Weigh
sure.
in on what? I'm confused about
Why
what
it
we're gonna
wasn't-
ask him.
why it wasn't a referendum.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do a referendum and we didn't choose to do one. We had
You didn't have to do one, you didn't choose to do one?
both.
We didn't
If
have
it was,
to.
so if it's required, we would have done it because it's required. I am not 100% sure if it's even optional to do. I think referendums generally you can do them. No one brought it up and said, please do a referendum.
Well,
And
if no
it wasn't
one
on
knows
discussion.
about it, then they don't know to gather enough people to do a petition to request it.
A lot of people know about it, and we've discussed it over 2 years at many meetings, but I understand. I mean, I'm happy to go through and get some information on the LDC history and have Eric or Mike, if they are willing to come in and answer questions about their organization.
And maybe maps. so
And,
that
yeah,
people, you know,
that's fine.
visuals so people can see.
Happy to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tim Towner.
Oh, you guys are right in a line.
You're right in line with each other.
He was up first.
I go to the meeting on the committee. I have two things. One is the box on the church tower.
Yes.
They're not all reading the same.
No, they're not.
So if you,
How slow are you walking around when you're?
I can work that way.
You're on the
one
inside.
facing the library has been off for a couple of years.
Okay.
I know the one facing here is supposed to be the controlling clock. So they all need to match that one.
Leave it on the hour.
Do we have a tech for that?
I don't know, it's your clock.
Okay.
The village's clock.
You guys have been rocking out too hard on the bells. It's shaking everything up. All right.
Last, well, the computer was put in with, pretty like the current one, 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Do we know who to contact for maintenance
I
to,
don't know,
That's fine.
you might know.
Lynn knows? Okay,
Again.
all right, Lynn's got
The other
it.
thing I have also might involve Lynn. Several years ago, the water and sewer were redone on North Broad Street from Main Street. My corner. Dodge, Camp, North Broad, stop there. I've been waiting for my last block to be done. Will it ever be done? That's one of the oldest
That
sections
one of the ones on
That's
our
one
list.
of our,
in
Yeah.
the town.
So we have been for the last, I mean, I'm sure it was before, but every year I can remember we've put in for WIA grants to help do that.
I see people get there all the time and take a look.
we're trying.
We actually, so last year we decided to move forward with the engineering, regardless of not getting the WIA grant, hoping that being shovel ready would give us more points towards the grant. And also knowing that we can't just keep hoping they will give us money towards it. And so we have, we don't have entirely all the funds to do it without taking on new debt, but we're getting there. And we have a plan and it's underway. So we'll be applying to WIA again and moving forward. So I think the over under is maybe the next year or two, we expect it to be complete. Is that about right? Or is it more 2 or 3?
Yeah, probably 3.
2 or 3. Okay. So they're working on the engineer.
Looks at it, they say, boy, this is really old.
Mhm.
It's older every year too.
So do I.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll message you if we have any major updates, but it's progressing.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
All right. I guess my question's for Lynn. An update on your thoughts on moving that sign at Brown Shores, closer to Ambrose?
It's not gonna happen. Like an explanation why?
Well, I think you know, Brenda, the guide wire.
Telephone pole, the guide wire, and getting around that corner with a snowplow. It's just not, it's not feasible to do it like that. My only answer is go across to Ambrose Street and ask for permission to put a sign up over there.
On the left side.
Yeah.
Like
Is there
as
a
I said.
utility pole on that side?
Yeah, if you can't put a stop sign on the other side of the utility pole, it's gonna be useless. It's gonna be, it won't be visible.
Well, I thought the concern was people driving past Brown Shores Road, missing.
But
It is, but it's all on the same pole.
But I'm thinking if you put a sign, the left-hand side of Ambrose, on pole saying Brown Shores Road with an arrow.
But we need permission to put a sign
Well,
up, so that's the,
But
yeah.
I don't know any other alternative to it, but putting a pole up closer to Ambrose Street is not the answer.
oh, but there's an existing pole, you're saying.
There's an existing.
It's just
pole,
back about, but.
Take a look at it. You go around that way all the
I
time.
do.
Take a look at it. See, it's very congested there.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is if you're going down Ambrose towards the water treatment plant, the left-hand side across from the entrance, Brown Shores, is there an existing pole there?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a light post there.
There's a
There's
telephone, well, there's no pole, there's no.
There's nothing to put a sign on.
Yeah.
I don't think we can put a sign on the telephone pole.
Oh.
Not legally, no.
Put wanted posters on.
It's true.
All right, well, I guess we'll just keep that.
I understand your concerns. It's just not.
Well, it's just that you get a lot of, especially in the summer, you get a lot of turnaround traffic and they're going fast as it is. And it's just.
Now, speed is an issue wherever you go.
Right.
Do
In
you,
the summertime, we do get traffic down there.
whose land is across the street? Demick. I mean, if you want to ask him, you might have
So
better
you
luck.
don't have right of way at the curb, beyond the curb to put.
No.
Not on-
You see, the misconception with the right of way is that we can't do whatever we want to do with it. The right of way is that we can work in that right of way, but not put a structure of any sort on that land.
Yeah.
It's actually the homeowner's property.
Is Jimmy owns that little piece of land, the White House with the blue thing, those people, I don't know where they're, I've tried to contact. I don't know how far down it is.
I believe he bought that.
No, yeah.
The empty lot is where.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
is that would be right, yeah, the empty lot
Yeah.
is.
I mean, if you want to approach him and ask, it's worth doing. And
Don't they sometimes paint something right on the road that says stop or slow or whatever?
yeah, we've done that before too. I don't know if it'll help, but it's an option.
It's an option.
All right. Anybody else for public comment? Anybody on Zoom has been talking with their mute button on that we don't know about? All right.
We have one request.
Oh.
For public comment, please give your name.
Peg's gotta mark it down in your permanent record. Peg, do you have everybody? Do you guys want to give Peg your names in order?
Downer.
Tell her your name, so. Sue Smith. Regarding the LUC presentation. And
Dick Stevens, 301 North Broad, Clock Tower and Stewart.
I did not.
Thanks, guys. Anything else, Peg? All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.